It all happened so fast that, the reality of the situation, I think, hits me more now than it ever did in the moment of it happening. I was diagnosed with fibrolamellar hepatocellular carcinoma. It's a really rare form of cancer that's typically terminal, usually found in middle-aged men in third world Asian countries. I had so many symptoms popping up. The final thing that happened was that it started hurting to swallow. It felt like it was kind of pinching every time I swallowed. And this was, by now, I was in 11th grade of high school. My mom finally was like, this is ridiculous, this is enough. We need to go to the doctors and we're not leaving until we know what's happening, why all this has been going on for so many years. She brought me in, they did a bunch of different scans. The one that really made the breakthrough was the upper GI, which saw that there was some sort of dark spot near my liver. So 2 days later, I was rushed into surgery to have it removed. Right when I woke up, the first things I said to her was, "Is it cancer?" And my mom knew at that point that it was, but didn't want to tell me when I was so groggy. So she's like, "We don't know yet, we don't know." And I kept telling her, "It is cancer, Mom. You need to tell me it is cancer, I know it is." And finally she was like, "Yes, Hannah, you have cancer." And I remember being so calm about it. When I first heard that, I was relieved, oh, okay, finally, something that I can put my hands on, there's one solid core reason why all this is happening throughout my body. Chemotherapy and radiation both were not options. They offered me actually an experimental form of chemotherapy that they said could work, but we just were not interested in that at all. I did not want to do chemotherapy. Just the thought of putting those kind of chemicals in my body, and this is not to disrespect anyone who chooses chemotherapy, because it can be very effective on certain types of cancer, and should someone choose chemotherapy, then by all means, do what you must. I just personally did not want to do that for myself. My dad was actually the one who introduced Gerson therapy to our lives. Way back when, he had seen a documentary on television, The Gerson Miracle. And it's all about the Gerson therapy, what it aims to do. The founder, Dr. Max Gerson. Fast forward to when I'm diagnosed with cancer, post-surgery, my dad brought up again the idea of Gerson therapy, saying, well, maybe that could be an option for Hannah. The main thing that it does for cancer is that it targets toxicity and nutritional deficiency. We felt like this was our best possible solution, and so we contacted the Gerson Clinic in San Diego, who set us up then with a Gerson practitioner. From there, we became 100% committed to following the Gerson Therapy Protocol for 2 entire years. My initial treatment was 16 8-ounce juices a day. Basically, you have to only eat things that can be grown from the ground. Nothing processed, nothing with additives. If you can pick it from the ground or from a tree, you can have it. If not, forget it. And that is with an exception to fruit. Honest to God, I have no idea how I did that treatment to this day, because I've actually tried to go back on it just to see, and I can't. I have no idea how I did it for 2 years.
It's bread, dude. It is full gluten bread.
If they had told me, hey, we have this chemotherapy, it will absolutely work, or we think it could work, then I probably would have done that chemotherapy instead of Gerson therapy. I think it's important to note too that because I was 17 years old and because they didn't really have a chemotherapy option for me, I was allowed to do the Gerson therapy. But had there been a chemotherapy option for me, we would not have been allowed to do the Gerson therapy. Child Protective Services would have gotten involved. So everything kind of ended up perfectly placed so that I would end up doing the Gerson therapy. If any one of those little things had been different, who knows if I would still be here. When I was initially diagnosed, they had originally given me 2 years to live, and I'm this summer 5 years cancer-free. So I give that credit to Gerson Therapy. Having cancer changed my outlook on life. Before having cancer, I had this kind of linear expectation of my life to go to college, to find a spouse, to find a dream job. Post-cancer and post-treatment, it was very different. I found that it's more important to experience things and to have memories rather than to look good on a piece of paper. Post-cancer, I've come to be a lot more vulnerable with my emotions and wear things on my sleeve a little bit more and open up and let people in and not be afraid to let them see who I really am.